sleeping for a month, comfortably numb, climbing the stairway to heaven.
Don't ramble on about random songs. What do we need some bands to do.
It's gonna take time, money, and a whole lot of love to figure this out.
But what bands?
Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
BandVersus. Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin should have collabed during my kid. Sorry. I mean Led Zeppelin versus Pink Floyd.
Hello and welcome back to your favorite YouTube show,
Welcome to BandVersus.
Number 4.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been about a month and a third since we filmed our last one.
So you're welcome for coming back.
Yeah.
You thought we forgot about
It's
you.
taken a lot of time, and we've spent a lot of money along the way.
Yeah.
But now we've come to a state of being comfortably numb that we're going to film a BandVersus.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were busy like during you went to the Himalayas.
Yeah.
I was funding a mission to Mars.
Yeah. I mean, it was an adventurous month and a third.
It's good. It's good.
But now we're finally here back at our hometown.
yeah, this is where we belong, filming BandVersus.
Yeah. So now we are going to do everybody's 2 favorite bands of the 70s. Okay, maybe not bands of the 70s, but 2 top 10 bands.
And very influential progressive.
Progressive hard rock.
Oh,
Led
Zeppelin
and
versus
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Led Zeppelin versus Pink Floyd.
No, it's Pink Floyd. Or no, it's Pink Zeppelin. It's Pink Zeppelin versus Led Floyd. Okay.
I
Anyway,
didn't name it that. But
I am Austin.
I am Sam.
This is the greatest show on YouTube, and we are going to go into our first category now. But first, here's the BandVersus scoring system. But before we go into our individual scenes, here's the BandVersus scoring system first. The BandVersus scoring system will be as follows. 4 points will be awarded to the band that produced the best song between the two. 5 points will be awarded to the band that produced the best album between the two. Both bands can be awarded a maximum of 6 points based on their ability to make good songs and good albums consistently. Both bands can be awarded a maximum of 3 points based on how strong their showmanship is. Both bands can be awarded a maximum of 5 points based on how strong their technical ability is and how creative they are. Both bands can be awarded a maximum of 6 points based on how innovative they were. Both bands can be awarded a maximum of 5 points based on how high their popularity, their success, and their sales were. Lastly, bands can be awarded a maximum of 7 points based on how much lasting appeal they have. And now back to BandVersus. Welcome to the best song portion of our show. To be fair, we all know Led Zeppelin wins this category with Stairway to Heaven, obviously. However, that doesn't take away from Pink Floyd having a great catalog of songs. They had songs like High Hopes, Eclipse, Comfortably Numb, Another Brick on the Wall. You get the point. They had a great catalog of songs. However, that doesn't mean Led Zeppelin only had Stairway to Heaven. They had songs like No Quarter, which is my personal favorite Led Zeppelin song. Achilles' Last Stand, The Battle of Evermore, Dire Maker. You get the point. Both these bands had great catalogs of songs. However, Stairway to Heaven is just a step above.
Alright, so let's be honest. This is a bit unfair. I mean, on almost every greatest rock song list ever, Stairway to Heaven tops. Either Stairway to Heaven or Bohemian Rhapsody. But Pink Floyd just... I feel like some of their songs are sometimes a tad underrated. Like Wish You Were Here, in my opinion, is one of the greatest songs of all time and is definitely Pink Floyd's greatest song in their array. But when you put them against each other, Stairway to Heaven or Wish You Were Here, Stairway to Heaven destroys. And that's the case for any song. If we put Led Zeppelin against almost any band, there's no way they could have won in this category because not only is it the best song between the two bands, but it's one of the best songs ever made. So, all the points go to Led Zeppelin here. Pink Floyd just can't compare.
Now, to be fair, Stairway to Heaven ranks everything.
Like any song.
There's no situation in which Led Zeppelin loses this. I think it's the most influential song of all time.
Yeah.
It influenced every rock song for the next 20 years until the grunge era. alternative rock. Even then, even still, yeah, there's influence in there. I mean, it just, it's such a good song. It's like, it's unsettling, it's
Masterful, what it is.
it's just, it's like beautiful composed. Like the guitar and the eerie sounds.
And just the entirety of it, like from beginning to end, it's like 1,000 different songs in one.
It's so otherworldly.
It is.
It's one of those very few songs that you can call otherworldly.
And when it came along, people
Yeah,
I'm sure were like,
That's why it was the most played rock song and second most song played overall in the 1970s. No, I can't provide justification for that, but that's what eyewitness accounts I've read online say it was like the biggest thing ever in the 1970s. Believe it or not, it was never even released as a single. It's just saying.
Stairway to Heaven.
It's not even released as a single.
Because the song itself is like a miracle. Like, it's so good.
It's so good. I mean, it takes you to another place.
It does.
To simply put. I mean,
does.
it's just written by aliens.
They just found it in a bottle and they don't know where it came from. They just started singing.
And it was signed Martian. Okay,
That's a lie. That's not true.
but no disrespect to Pink Floyd. They have a great catalog.
No,
of songs.
for sure. And like, it's rough because if we had Pink Floyd against a lot of other bands, they would have taken it.
They would have taken it. I mean, like everybody knows the song "Another Brick on the Wall." We don't need
No.
education.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, they have a lot of contenders for best
Yeah,
song
I
for
know.
their song.
I know.
Choosing "Wish You Were Here" as
Yeah.
their best song for this. Like, well, there's also "Another Brick in the Wall," "Constantly on Money,"
High Hopes,
"High Hopes." Like,
It's just they have such a great catalog of songs. It's just they ran into the wrong band to be up against.
the thing is, like, putting them against each other, like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, like,
It's the best matchup.
it's
for
the
it.
best matchup because Pink Floyd is better than a lot of bands. And so is Led Zeppelin. So we need to put them together, otherwise Pink Floyd would destroy all.
Yeah, we can't put Led Zeppelin against like some other band. We just like
Great. We can't make Pink Floyd against anyone else out there because the metal's so great.
Yeah.
So like, it's a bit unfair in a sense, but regardless,
It's the best. It's the
It's-
best possible matchup.
it's the best possible matchup and it's the best song.
And then watch people say in the comments like, you should have done this versus this. Not a couple stupid comments, but okay. And with that, we're gonna move on to the next category, which in my opinion is the funnest category, the best album. This is actually really hard. Okay.
Try to put yourself through my hell. Picking the best album between these two bands, it's really, really, really crazy difficult. Now, for me, I went between Led Zeppelin's Untitled album, their fourth album, often called Led Zeppelin 4, makes sense, versus Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which is debatable, but that's what I'm going with, so roll with it. Now, it's really difficult to say that Led Zeppelin doesn't win here, because that album is crazy good. Every song in it is a masterpiece, plus it also has Stairway to Heaven on it, which, as we've already pointed out, is amazing. Now, Dark Side of the Moon is very, very good as well. It's also very influential and just crazy, crazy weird. You don't listen to that album without thinking, whoa, dude. Like, it brings you somewhere else, which is really difficult for an album to do. But, I mean, if you listen to them back to back, there's no way you listen to Dark Side of the Moon and think it's better, because it's not. It can't compare. So I gotta give it to Led Zeppelin 4. It wins.
Now this is the category where it gets really, 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 really tough. Now both these bands have multiple greatest album of all time contenders. Pink Floyd has The Wall and The Dark Side of the Moon. Led Zeppelin has Led Zeppelin 4, or Untitled, or Zoso, or Four Symbols, if you will, and Led Zeppelin 2. All four of these albums are like 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100 albums. I don't know how to put it any more bluntly. However, when their albums are just this good, you gotta pick your personal favorite, and for me, that's Led Zeppelin 4. The album starts off with Black Dog. You get captivated by the sexiest riff in rock. And then rock and roll plays, and you really start to get gripped by it. And then The third track comes in, The Battle of Evermore. And the eerie mood of the album just sets in and just completely takes you to another world. And then number 4, Stairway to Heaven plays. Your whole musical knowledge is rewritten in binary code when that plays. And you're just taken to another place. That is why Stairway to Heaven is just makes the album. And to top it off, those first 4 songs are only side A if you have a vinyl record. Imagine what side B is. I'm rambling on too much here. See, ramble on. Okay. That's just side A. And then side B is just as good. Or maybe not, but it's pretty good. That is why I would call Led Zeppelin 4 the greatest album of all time. All 5 points to Led Zeppelin. Untitled is also Led Zeppelin 4,
Fanboy.
or Symbols. Fanboy, yes. Is the greatest album of all time.
It's very good. It's very good. Dark Side of the Moon, though, is also and the
I won't catch
both contenders as well.
I would consider The Wall the better album than Dark Side of the Moon.
I don't know. I figured song-wise they're about equal, but I think Dark Side of the Moon wins with its. I like just how influential it is.
I just think more of the songs on The Wall. Yeah. Hey, you take your opinion over there. Okay. I would agree with you.
I agree with you. You're right.
Throwing back to Roll with BandVersus episodes like we always do. We're cool like that. Yeah.
Okay, no, seriously.
Led Zeppelin 4 is also untitled or Symbols.
Wins. It's very, very good.
Stairway to Heaven is enough to win at the album category. It's enough to
The
win.
song is too good.
It's too good. It's just
And the thing with that song is it melts, is what it does.
It melts?
It melts. That's how to describe it. Like, it just puts, you're in it, and just, it melts
yeah.
on you like hot butter and syrup.
Like you're at the movie theater working where Sam does.
Yeah.
Want free movies?
Too bad.
Too bad.
Those were me.
Okay. Enough about our personal lives. Led Zeppelin 4, So-So, The Symbols.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything right now.
Robert Plant and Friends.
Robert Plant and Friends, Jimmy Page and Friends, John Bonham and Friends, and John Paul Jones and Friends have made the greatest album of all time. Congratulations, Led Zeppelin. All 5 points for you.
Comfortably Not, Echoes, Brain Damage, Eclipse, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. Money, Time, Wish You Were Here, Shine On, You Crazy Diamond, Stairway to Heaven, Cashmere, The Immigrant Song, Ramble On, Dia Maker, No Quarter, Whole Lot of Love, Healers, Stand, and many more stats prove that both these bands are ridiculously consistent. And they have a remarkable lineup of songs, like, they're beautiful. If you made a playlist of all these songs and just listen to them, I know I personally could sit there for hours and hours listening. Here's the dildo. As good as they are, it gets better. Their albums are also a very, very, very impressive lineup. The Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, The Wall, Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4, House of the Holy, Physical Graffiti, Presence, Robert Plant and Friends. These are some of the 10 greatest albums of all time, and I would adore listening to them for hours on end as well. Here's the dildo. I have to give both bands a full 6 out of 6 because they're just too good.
Consistency was something both of these bands possessed, and in a big, big way. They seemingly had a never-ending well of marvelous albums and songs, as Sam just listed so dutifully for you. From The Piper at the Gates of Dawn to The Division Bell for Pink Floyd. From Led Zeppelin 1 to Coda for Led Zeppelin. Or Presence if you're a dishonoring Coda Led Zeppelin fan who's really stupid and immature. Both of these bands earn a full 6 out of 6. I applaud them.
Alright, so unarguably, these are two of the most consistent bands ever. Like, all of their songs are worth listening to and being made.
I think it's like are worth. They're worth exactly 592 and 35 cents in dollars. No, American euros with a conversion of Africans to francs to krones to rupees.
Our viewers don't know math. I'm watching out for you guys. Alright, continue.
But what I'm saying is, both these bands do this in a big way. They just kill it.
They do. It's impressive.
It's so. It's like the.
It's crazy. Like it's blowing our mind. Can you tell we're like
It's like blowing our minds like the Girls and Boys music video. Guys, you do girls, you do boys.
That's my Blur.
Blur's for another day. But alas, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. I'm doing this my best rave voice now. Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd both do this category with great expertise, very strong creativity, sound looking at the camera awkwardly. And that is why we both gave them 6 out of 6.
6 out of 6. I love your narrative voice. Worker treatment if you're watching. We'll pay you well.
Based on eyewitness descriptions, musical critics, watching live concerts online, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd were two of the greatest live bands of all time. That is why I'm giving them 3 out of 3. Simply because they sound well, other people love them. Popular opinion states this, can't go wrong. 3 out of 3 to both, very, very good.
Alright, so showmanship. Now I'm going to see how clear I can make this for you. I do pretty much anything to take a side with these bands. Like a fat kid for a Klondike bar and kill. Because I trust both these bands to blow my mind even when I hear their songs. If I saw them in concert, I'd be like a teenage girl at a One Direction concert. They're very well put together and very well done. Just like a clever simile. You get the point. Essentially, insert ramble here. And that's about it. 3 out of 3 for both. Top notch.
We don't need no thought control. No dark side.
Alright, so the only people I can think who'd do a better show than these guys are, well, us.
Yeah, for sure. We're like the greatest YouTube show of all time.
Yeah.
We're like getting really cocky now, like Oasis was, when they were like said they were the greatest rock band in the world and most influential group since.
Yeah, but our goal is we'll be the 8th most subscribed show on YouTube. By the
We'll
year.
get there one day.
42.
Mark my words.
By 2042.
Okay.
It's legit.
We'll be doing this for 30 years.
Legit timing, for sure.
Yeah, we'll do this for 30 years. Yeah, that's it. No, checks out.
Anyways, the point is, they're great. They're
Simple as that.
fantastic. Simple as that. I'd adore to see a show.
I'd do the Doors to see the show.
No, I wouldn't, but
Jim Morrison.
I would do it.
But alas, both these bands were great in concert. Really, only I can think of a few bands that would be better. It'd be like Rush, Journey, Queen.
Yeah,
Queen
there's
or the Eagles,
like
but-
a handful.
There's a handful, but these are like 2 of the top live bands.
They're up there, yeah.
Yeah. That's why we both gave them 3 out of 3.
Because it's miraculous.
It's miraculous.
It's miraculous.
It's miraculous that they can play well.
Anyways, I guess. Anyways, we're moving on to our next category, technical ability, which I remember. And yeah, enjoy.
I hope you're enjoying this episode right now. Stay tuned to Awkward Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
To be quite frank, this is the category that Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd do the best in. They have the ability to create so many melodic, progressive rock, eerie sounds, just through like the use of organs, guitars, bass lines, you know, the whole real deal. The sounds in their music is just so complex, it's so thing, the time changes, they just all blend together in like some sort of beautiful blender like my hands are creating for you right now. It's just like not so nonsensically combined. It's I'm almost sounding like a fanboy here, but it's so true with how melodic and psychedelic and progressive rock they are. They're like Rush in a sense. Like listen to like a song like La Villa Strangiato. That'll express what I'm telling you. These bands have such a deep creativity and they have such strong technical ability with like guys like Jimmy Page, John Bonham, John Paul Jones, David Gilmour, Syd Barrett. You catch my drift. Both these bands earned a full 5 out of 5. Give me that 5.
Alright guys, I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm going to read from my script. What? He's gonna read from his script? Yes, I'm going to read from my script because I wrote something very deep and I think the scene will benefit if I read from here, so here it goes. Now as far as technical ability, it doesn't get much better than Led Zeppelin. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham are some of the greatest musicians of all time, and they form one of the few bands ever that has no weak links. But I suppose the same can be said about Pink Floyd, with Syd Barrett, Nick Mason, Roger Waters, Richard Wright, and David Gilmour, who are all very talented musicians in their own right. But not necessarily to the same level as the members of Led Zeppelin. The thing with Zeppelin is they're more of a harmonist style band, which kind of allows an accent on all of their abilities. But Pink Floyd doesn't have this. They have more of a subtle, psychedelic style, which lets their talent fade in, do its thing, fade out before you even know what's going on, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's a lot easier for me to say, truthfully, that Pink Floyd has a lower level of technical ability than Led Zeppelin does. But as far as creativity goes, it gets no better. Ever is it better than Pink Floyd. They're the kings of creativity. Not a single band has ever topped them. And lyrically, well, Pink Floyd had an ability to make songs that meant something. They weren't just musicians, they were commentators. Led Zeppelin weren't like that. They made really, really good songs, which is important, of course, but often that's all they were, really good songs. No band can make you wonder, how did they do that more than Pink Floyd can? So, I have to award them both a full 5 out of 5. Because Pink Floyd's the most creative and Led Zeppelin's the most technically able band of all time. They're amazing. 5 out of 5 for each band.
Now both of these bands dominate this category and in a big way.
They transcend it.
I mean, they're like above and beyond. They should be getting like 6 of the 5s, to be quite frank.
I mean, and like when I said that, you know, that Pink Floyd's the most creative band of all time, and Led Zeppelin's the best technically able. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that Pink Floyd's not technically able, and that
or Led Zeppelin's not
creative. Just when you're talking about these things, you need to focus on what they're really, really strong.
I mean, for me, it'd be like Led Zeppelin is the strongest technical band of all time. Led Zeppelin is the second strongest creativity band of all time. And then Pink Floyd's the third most technical band of all time behind Rush. Rush is unbelievable. Rush is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then there's the most creative band.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you just listen to some of the weird sounds and stuff.
Exactly.
It's weird.
For me, when it comes to creativity, I immediately think of how it starts with all those sounds and it turns into the music. Like
I think of High Hopes.
I think of High Hopes.
But the list goes on. That's the point. We're comfortable. It's just, and then you see like Led Zeppelin's creativity technical ability shown through songs like Black Dog or Live and Love Me or Stairway to Heaven. That's more creativity side. But I'm saying that we're trying to prove that they both do everything so well.
Like to give either of them anything less than 5 out of 5 would be like ridiculous.
It'd be blasphemy to music and the binary code written in your head, rewritten by Stairway to Heaven. Referencing early jokes in the show. Ramble on.
Okay, anyways, you guys get the point. They're amazing, and that's since we were trying.
That's why we gave 5 out of 5 for each band.
All right, moving on to the next category, which is.
these bands were incredibly innovative. Pink Floyd made Dark Side of the Moon. That expanded upon what the Beatles had birthed with psychedelic rock, with Magical Mystery Tour, a very interesting album. But then they just knocked everything we knew about psychedelic rock up to that point with Dark Side of the Moon, like I just said. And then Led Zeppelin, they knocked hard rock out of the water with their debut album, Led Zeppelin 1, and then made everything you knew about music, rewrote it in binary code with Led Zeppelin 4 and Stairway to Heaven. Stairway to Heaven influenced every rock song pretty much for the next 20 years and even so forth. Both of these bands have had an incredible footprint on music. Pink Floyd are the kings, the gods of psychedelic rock. Led Zeppelin is the kings or the gods of hard rock. And both of these bands are kings of rock in general. Both of these bands are in a full 6 out of 6. The amount of melodic and complex tunes and innovation and influence they had in everybody else cannot be understated. 6 out of 6, like I just said.
As far as innovation goes, it's ridiculous to say that either of these bands received anything less than a full 6 points. I mean, there's only a handful of bands about them, say the Beatles. I'll put it this way. Possibly the most innovative song of all time is Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. And possibly the most influential rock album of all time, at least progressive rock, is Dark Side of the Moon. That alone, that title alone, gives both these bands a full 6 points, which is impressive. And they only a handful of bands can receive that. They topped the list though, full 6 out of 6.
The amount of innovation these bands provided is simply insane.
Yeah, like I said, the only band really top of my head is the Beatles. And they're the innovative band of all time.
Well, that's, yeah, they kind of started what really rock could be.
They started what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Led Zeppelin.
And it's just, simply put, I would say the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and Pink Floyd are the 3 most influential bands of all time. If you're just an aspiring music artist, you have to listen to these guys to get in, to really try to transcend and expand.
You know what you're doing, yeah.
And it's just incredible to think that they did this without any influence before them. It's incredible. I mean, because you can't really say Pink Floyd took influence from Led Zeppelin or the Beatles because they're so radically different.
It's crazy because these guys, they had to.
It's like
they
made
their own stuff.
Yeah, they made like their own. They each made their own imprint and just influenced everybody else. Is what they did. I mean, seemingly every other band takes after them in some way. You can find hints of their bits in every bit of their music, right? It's just
they changed the course of the genre. That's what they did.
Yeah, they really just made rock just split into different subsections. And of course, Led Zeppelin did do their psychedelic stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And they did their prog stuff, and then Pink Floyd did their hard rock and their prog stuff. So they all did the same genres. It's just they all blew it apart in different ways.
Exactly.
Is what they did.
And that matters today. In rock, that is,
Yeah.
that's what it is. I mean, there's 1,000 different types of rock now.
Yeah.
And that started here.
Just look at the Wikipedia article. Listen. But it all just stems from those 3 bands: the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and Pink Floyd.
Exactly.
I could not think of another band if I really wanted to. I don't remember my points. Yeah. I actually can't think of another band. I can't think of another band. Anyway,
We'll figure it out. We'll let you know.
Alright. Anyway, to the next scene. This is the category I don't really feel is a very good one, but it's popularity, success, and sales, and it does account for something. With that, I'm gonna burn. After the stage is done, stay tuned. Simply put, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd are the 2 best-selling rock bands of all time behind, well, we all know, the Beatles. They've sold an incredible amount of records. Pink Floyd with 250 million overall, including an astounding 50 million albums sold on Dark Side of the Moon. And Led Zeppelin sold even more, at 300 million, which is insane. It just go to think about that. How many albums are out there? If you looked at a number graph and you see like, 100. 100's like seems like really big in the number graph. And then multiply that by so many, because I don't want to do the math right now on the spot. There are so many little spots where you could just fill an album in. It's truly insane how many albums of theirs exist. That's why they both earn a full 5 out of 5.
Alright, all you internet trolls, get your keyboards ready. Okay, so here's the thing. Success and sales, both these bands, it's indisputable that okay, two of the highest selling rock bands of all time. So sales, full. Okay, now success, full. But here's where it gets real intense. See, okay, Pink Floyd is obviously very popular. They obviously were. But same thing can be said for Led Zeppelin, and definitely on a higher level. Everybody today still knows who Led Zeppelin is. I still love Led Zeppelin. I love Pink Floyd, granted, but let me get to my point. Led Zeppelin is very popular. They're like 100%. Now, against that, Pink Floyd can't be a 5 as well. You can't say the same thing. You can't say they're on the same level. So as much as I feel they also deserve a full 5, I can't say they're on the same level. I have to put them at 4. Because, nowadays, it seems like their popularity is fading a bit. Not everybody would know who Pink Floyd is, not necessarily. Sadly, but true. So, as a comparison, and that's what the show is, it's a battle between the two bands. As a comparison, I have to give the full 5 points to Led Zeppelin and only 4 points to Pink Floyd.
My desire and ambition. There's a hunger still unsatisfied.
Popularity, success, and sales. I can't say I fully agree with the point on popularity. I just think they just destroyed every other category so much so that you still get a 5 out of 5.
I know, but just like you have to put it to scale. Or you can't.
but
you
like-
can't say fairly. That
But
Pink
like
Floyd
I,
is as
but like I've
popular
said in other
as
episodes, you gotta draw the line somewhere. Like I've said in other episodes, you gotta draw the line somewhere.
Exactly.
So you can stay by your opinion. That's perfectly fine.
I just-
I've already shown the graphic on screen, so you can't change it now.
I wish I could give a decimal, like 4.5. I just feel like it's not fair to take that away from Led Zeppelin. Maybe I'm taking too much away from Pink Floyd, but I can't take that away from Led Zeppelin.
No, I guess not. But I'm gonna stay by my 5 out of 5.
That's fair.
Anyway, this has been the shortest collab scene ever. And it's a very short, dull argument. Now we're gonna move along to the most important category. Lasting appeal. Anyway,
Last appeal.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. No.
The impact and lasting appeal of these two bands is astronomical. I can't even begin to describe how large it is. Pink Floyd left such a lasting mark on psychedelic rock. Led Zeppelin left such a lasting mark on hard rock. It was truly something to behold. I just can't describe it. But you know what I'm saying. A full 7 out of 7 each band.
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. They are two of the most lasting, appealing bands of all time. Think about it this way. Do you know who Led Zeppelin is? Oh, really? You do? That's crazy. Oh, but do you know who Pink Floyd is? Oh, you know that too? Holy crap! That's because they have a ridiculous, excessive amount of lasting appeal. What a weird coinky-dink. No, it's because they're so talented and so innovative and so different and unique. I could go on forever, and I just might. I'm gonna ramble on here. But here's the intense part. I think they're gonna be known for a long time, and I know that's true. Okay, just hear me out. I think 20 years from now, everybody is still gonna know about Stairway to Heaven. Okay, 20 years from now, everybody's still gonna know about Dark Side of the Moon. 30 years from now, everybody's still gonna know about Pink Floyd. 40 years from now, everybody's still gonna know about Led Zeppelin. That's impressive, considering that it's already been a while since they were big. And they're still big. And that's a big thing, if you know what I mean. Okay. I have a clever metaphor for you. Okay. Imagine all the people. Imagine, there's like a 10-year-old boy. Okay, he's just kind of standing there. He's like, oh, what should I do with my life? And his dad's like, well, go listen to this album. And he hands him Dark Side of the Moon. And the little boy's like, oh, and he goes and he listens to Dark Side of the Moon. And then he's like 50. His wife's like, have you heard this album? He's like, oh yeah, I've heard that album. Because it had lasting appeal, because it blew his mind. It's not really a metaphor, and I had nothing to do with that, but I'm gonna ramble on here. Here's the dildo. I love both of these bands, and I'm 15 in 2013. I was born in 98. This is that's impressive. That's impressive that I still love these bands. It's impressive that we're doing a YouTube episode about them on YouTube. YouTube was not even an idea when these bands were around. Okay? YouTube was a sci-fi thing. You're watching me through a computer. That's impressive. Not quite as impressive with these bands though. So I'm gonna finish my ramble here by saying each band receives a full 7 out of 7 because YouTube, you know who they are. 7 out of 7. Lasting appeal. Okay, appease me. Appease. But the thing is, these bands, they have so many songs that you may not know the title to, but you'll recognize when you hear them. And they get a lot of radio play on classic rock stations. Yeah. Yeah, not on rock stations. Anyways, yeah, the thing is, like I mentioned, it's crazy that everybody still knows who these bands are. That takes a lot of skill, and it shows just how unique these bands must have been.
Yeah.
They've influenced so many. They've resonated in the minds of so many, and they changed rock. They changed rock as we know it. That is why we gave Lucky 7 to them. Lucky 7. I know this sounds like real talk, and there's not enough jokes here. All right, but I make more jokes. We're gonna ramble on. We're gonna Austin. We're gonna finish. We're gonna a whole lot of love, and then we're gonna climb the stairway to heaven to finish this video. Oh, exactly. And then after we're done, we're gonna feel comfortably numb, and then we're gonna take some time to edit this and make some money. At our jobs. Okay. But alas, we now tally up all the scores. Led Zeppelin won. On my side, 41 to 32. And I have Led Zeppelin winning at 41 to 31. And combined, Led Zeppelin is the only band so far now on the 4th episode they're gonna see a perfect score! With a full 82 points. Pink Floyd, if they were up against any other band, would score 81 of 82. Yeah. Nearly 81 of 82. If they were up against any other band, pretty much. Almost. I'm sure that I can think of a few bands that would have give them a little bit of trouble with the song in the album category, but still. No disrespect to Pink Floyd, they would have almost perfected against almost anybody else. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Led Zeppelin wins with the final score at 82 to 63. Good night, our roadies. Roadies. Oh, that's for the Color fans. Yeah, see you guys.
They're probably gonna hate that.
If you don't like us, you're not roadies.
Stay tuned for our dumb outro. Oh, hey, Jimmy.
Oh, hey, Robert.
Pink Floyd sent us a collab idea here.
Looks alright.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you give it a shot? Sing it.
Alright, yeah. As we ramble on down through time, Our money larger than our no quarter. There walks a whole lot of love. Who shines a clip and wants to thank you. How immigrants are on the run. And if you live in love is made. The great gig in the sky. Any color that you like. When we are all comfortably numb, we have high hopes to rock and roll. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. I like it.
It doesn't have the familiarity.
It feels like they wrote it in like a minute.
I know. It feels as if I've written this before somewhere, but with better lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, last.
Yeah, tell him no. Tell him no.
No. It'd be kind of funny to record though. Kind of like good for a joke.
Yeah.
Could throw on the greatest hits album and make some more money.
Watch some YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at advertising money.
Okay.
We're good, yeah.
Sounds good. Let's just waste our viewers' time with this.
Yeah. It sounds good, Robert. Sounds good.
Okay. See you, Jimmy.
Welcome to BandVersus, you kind people. It is numero trois. Yeah, and today we're going to do an Aerosmith versus Guns N' Roses. Now, these are two great classic rock bands. Fantastic rock bands.